Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, my ex-sister from hell and her bratty kids and now Barb's mom. Lady demands to see the patient during COVID shutdown. Entitled flatmate has been stealing my stuff. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My ex-sister from hell and her bratty kids and now Barb's mom. So a few weeks ago I posted about the ex-SAL and her kids coming over, and the kids behaved badly and broke my candy tree etc. while the SAL Barb was smiling at her kids' bad behavior. She doesn't believe in saying no to her kids because there are too many no's out there. So anyway, after I made her pay for the damage her son Nick did, they left and we went to my cousin's house where we had plans for Christmas. Within a few hours of that, she started calling and texting me non-stop. I didn't take the calls because I figured she was mad that she had to pay $300 to me. Sunday night I got a call from Barb's mom. She made small talk and almost immediately asked me if we can help her out by watching the kids for 4 days because Barb wanted to whisk her new boyfriend to go on a cruise Easter. I told her that we can't do that. She just wouldn't listen and kept trying to make me agree. I told her that my husband has stage 4 cancer and he will be getting chemotherapy in Easter break. We have plans to go somewhere as well. Besides, we just don't want to be responsible the kids who don't listen to anyone. Apparently she wants her daughter, Barb, to settle down again, so it would be a big favor, and since I had blocked her in all social media and cell and home numbers after she had started bombarding us with the calls because Barb's hotel room has messed up and she and the kids had nowhere to go and had to drive over an hour to get to a relative's house. If I had answered the phone, I could have left them in my house while we went to my cousin's. I had to cut in and tell her very firmly that I would never do that and that her daughter and her kids are not welcome in our house ever again. In spite of me saying no, Jane, Barb's mom 85, kept trying to convince me to help out. I told her, Miss Jane, I am going to hang up now and will not discuss this any further because we have a life too and she and her family can help Barb but not us. And I hung up. She called again yesterday and asked if I had given what she asked of thought, and I said my answer is still the same, and that is a big fat no. Glad to see that the word no is something you are able to use. Maybe someone should teach it to Barb. That's been my problem with trying to please everyone and realizing that some people will take advantage of you. LMAO, clearly no one from that family understands no, not even the granny. I would be concerned about them just randomly dropping the kids off around the time of the cruise. I've seen that more than once here on Reddit. Oof, if they do that, definitely call the police and report some abandoned kids. Ask Jane what part of no is she having such difficulty understanding, the N or the O? If you knew this family, you would know that this family has no respect of anyone and their boundaries, and I told her that we want to do family things as much as possible because of my husband's diagnosis. They are selfish people. You know, I'm just saying. Barb clearly said no to babysitting the children of the corn, so why does she think you should do it? Entitlement, and she is taking advantage of my kindness, but she knows when I am done, then I am done. I have a feeling she was listening in on the conversation on a third-party line. I thought I heard her weird way of breathing heavily. So proud of you. Now block Jane. Lady demands to see the patient during COVID shutdown. So this happened during COVID in 2022 when all hospitals were not allowing any visitors. I worked in a rehabilitation hospital, and we were the only hospital in the valley that was allowing window visits. The patient will stay inside, while the family/friends would be outside, and they would communicate by being on the phone. It was just something we tried to do to help the patient have more support being in rehab. I was the main person of contact and the one who had to wheel the patient downstairs and back up etc. Also, the person who gives a small orientation to the patients when they first arrived. To give a background of how window visit works. We did first come first serve, and it's 30 minutes each session. We went by time slots. like I explained to the patients and family. Preferably 2 days ahead, or if not, 1 day before 1 p.m. The schedulers are always working on the patient's therapy schedule for the next day. So they usually want any notifications about blocking out a certain time frame by 1 p.m. Patients are aware of needing 15 hours of therapy in 7-day grace period. So once the schedules are out, they try not to do any cancellation if necessary. So far I haven't had any issues with any family members or patients. They are pretty good about giving me a week notice for the time and day. This particular patient was admitted in the evening. So I went in the next day and gave the patient orientation and explained about the window visits. I reminded the patient about making sure to call me at least a day ahead if the family wants a window visits. The patients said they understood. The next day, the patient's son called my office wanting to make a window visit for the next day. I made the arrangements and explained to him about the rules again, and he said he understands. It was now 2 p.m. and I suddenly get a phone call from the receptionist. She tells me that a family member is here for window visits for that patient. Usually when I have window visits, I sent out emails to all nurses in charge, therapy manager, schedulers, receptionist, etc. so they are informed too. I looked at my booklet and saw that there wasn't anything put down. I looked at the patient's schedule and saw that she was in a therapy session anyways. I told the receptionist I'll come downstairs to speak with the family member. I get downstairs and it was a lady. I said hello to her and she tells me she wants to see that patient for window visits. I apologized and informed her she wouldn't be able to see the patient. She has to call to make an appointment ahead of time. This lady got mad and told me, "Are you guys a prison? You guys are treating my in-law like a prisoner." I told her, we are not a prison, but there are protocols. Not every hospital is even offering this to families and friends, and that we are the only hospital doing this. Plus it's to protect our patients, employees, and visitors. She huffs and kept calling us a prisoner and that this is unfair. I asked her, didn't the patient's son already called this morning to see the patient tomorrow? She looks at me and rolls her eyes, well, I can't come tomorrow. That is why I am here today. Apologized again and told her, the patient is in therapy anyways. So she won't be able to see the patient. Plus, what if another patient's family is doing window visits right now or that we are booked for the day? I already explained the rules to the son too. The lady called us a prisoner one more time and said for me to just bring the clothes to the patient and left. I came to find out that the lady was the son who had called me this morning, wife. I swear some people are so entitled. I know everyone wants to see their family during this tough time, but what makes you so special compared to other people's family who are in rehabilitation also? Did you speak to the son the next day about his wife just showing up? No, but when I dropped off the clothing to the patient, I reminded the patient about it. I'm surprised she didn't ask if you know who she is. LOL. To which the reply is, do you know who you are? If not, that's a concern and you should speak to your own doctor. My mom was blessed with a ground floor window room while she was in rehab during COVID-19. I watched an awful lot of Major League Baseball through the window those months, but it was a great way to be connected. I was in a rehab facility for about 3 weeks in 2021. I watched the ground floor, a parking lot outside my window. The facility had put room number on each window. My parents would come every day, park outside. My dad drove a pickup and would back I tote space outside my window and they'd sit on the tailgate, and we talked using our phones. It was better than the hospital where there was no setup for visitors. Entitled flatmate has been stealing my stuff. Hey everyone, sorry for any typos or mistakes, English is not my first language. This situation happened literally today, so I'm still quite mad about it. So, me, 21F, and my BF, 21M, are currently living in a student residence, specifically a 3-bedroom apartment. We occupy 2 of the rooms, and the other room has been empty until a month ago. We've lived with our new flatmate, 26M, for only a month, but he's proven to be a disaster since the beginning. using our kitchen utensils and leaving them dirty in the sink, using my towels to shower, which is one of the grossest things, and many more. But the worst part for me was him taking our stuff. Without asking. Without ever mentioning. The first day he arrived, we showed him his kitchen cabinet, yet later that day we've noticed him going through our cabinet and using our spices. He could have asked us the permission, but I didn't want to create drama out of him taking some pepper. Well, later it got worse. Over the time I've noticed that there were a lot of used tea bags in the trash, which was a specific type of tea that I love but haven't drank for a long time. I checked the package, and guess what? Yep, half a package missing. That was the moment I went through pretty much all of my stuff. Laundry detergent? Yep, he managed to use some, along with the conditioner. A bottle of sriracha sauce? Also part of it missing. Bad for him though, it's been expired since a year. Another pack of tea? Missing some of them. The €20 bottle of Italian oil my BF brought from home? Used and not even closed. Of course, we had a talk with him today, and he knew exactly what he's been doing, because as soon as we asked him to not take our things he went, "Oh yeah, sure, that's common sense," without even looking at us. No remorse, no excuses, nothing. The issue was not even sharing stuff, but rather him consistently taking our things without ever mentioning that he did that or needed some of them. And yes, he sort of admitted to doing that since his response to my "I'm really disappointed about how rude your behavior is" was "Sure, I understand." And so, here we are now, locking our rooms from now on and hoping that he would not go from stealing tea to stealing our money. He is a user. He will not change. He will continue to steal from you as long as you let him stay. The sooner you kick him out, the better. Guaranteed he does everywhere. How do student residences work? Can they kick him out, especially for something like this? They might need to wait for the end of the semester and hope they have better luck next year. Hard no where trust is an issue. You need to flush the turd. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.